Hello, science students. Today you'll be taking notes about the vocabulary that goes with DNA. So I have 8 words to discuss with you, and they all relate back to DNA. As you can see, the first word, just to preview, is the word DNA, and then we will go through several related vocabulary words that directly tie into DNA. So first things first, please grab your pencil and put your name on the name line. You need your first and last. I will go ahead and put mine on here. Make sure you go over to the hour. Type whatever hour you're in and whatever date you're doing this on. So if you're in the classroom, the date's always on the board. If you're at home or another place, I'm sure you can look at the time setting in your computer and figure out the date. Okay, so let's get started. Let's read the directions. We know the title of this paper is DNA 4-column notes. Ooh, there's a typo here, volcano vocabulary. Ooh, no, so ignore that. But we're working on DNA 4-column notes. The directions say copy the definition and part of speech for each word. Use the word correctly in each sentence and draw a picture to illustrate your sentence. Okay, we can do that. Now, I want to point your attention to the 4 columns. We have the word, vocabulary word, in the first column. The definition, it is worth 2 points. Then we have the sentence, where we will underline the word. And we have our drawing that will represent our sentence. So also notice that all 3 columns, definition, sentence, and drawing, are worth 2 points each. So since we're going to do those together, your paper should be exactly like mine. Okay, there's no reason why it should not be. I will start each sentence with a capital letter and end it with a period, and I need you to do that too. Okay, definition number 1 for DNA. We're going to go to the second column. DNA, we've been talking a lot about it, but scientifically, here is what DNA is. It is the material that controls all the activities in the cell. Oh, neither one of those is what I was trying to spell. ACT, IVIT. There we go. The material that controls all the activities in the cell. So as you know, go ahead and hit pause if you need to and get this copied down. Let's talk about a sentence for this. So believe it or not, your DNA controls everything. If, for example, you have some skin cells that are damaged, it's my famous example. If you have some skin cells that are damaged, your body will recognize, your DNA that is, will understand that you have a cut or something on your hand that needs repaired, and it will tell your cells in your skin to make new skin cells. So you won't have to walk around for the rest of your life with an open cut on your hand, arm, leg, neck, wherever you got a cut at. So let's write the sentence. Let's see here. I'll just make up a random person to have an injury. Ooh, how about my brother-in-law, Ivan? When Ivan cut his hand, let's see here. When he cut his hand, let's see what we should say. His DNA in his skin cells, we'll use a fancy word, alerted his skin cells to make more skin cells. Period. I'm going to try to bring this up so it's more on the line. And there it is. When Ivan cut his hand, his DNA in his skin cells alerted his skin cells to make more skin cells. Sounds funny, but it's true. Okay, now we're missing one thing to make this answer correct, and that's underlining the word. So since I did not do that when I wrote this, I am going to go get a line from my tools, but you're simply going to take your pencil and underline that. Okay? Hit pause if you need to, but that's what your third column should look like for DNA. Next, we're going to draw the picture for this. Now, this should be a good time. I'm sure you will laugh at me, because I'm going to be drawing this picture of Ivan's hand with my computer. So you're going to probably want to wait for a moment before you start drawing, because you'll want to see what I do. I hope you understand where I'm going with this picture, because I need to draw a picture of a hand. That's what my sentence says, with a cut on it. I'm going to do my best to do that with the computer. So here is the thumb. Here is the next finger. We need 5 fingers. 3, 4, 5. Okay. Bring it down. Okay. So, kind of looks like an alien's hand. I do apologize. Let's make the cut. So we're going to kind of do a little oval here on the hand, and we're going to show some blood dripping down to represent a cut. I'm just going to make some little tick marks. Oh, here they are. Blood is leaking from the cut. Now, take your pencil and let's type the definition for that. I'll be typing, you'll be writing. It is the shape of DNA. That's very simple. Double helix is the shape of DNA. Let's go over and make our sentence. And our sentence was going to be about the word, of course, double helix, but we're going to compare it to something that we already know. Oftentimes, scientists say the shape of DNA is, of course, a double helix, but they say it looks like a spiral staircase. So let's type and write a sentence that represents that. The shape of DNA is a double helix, which some people say looks like a spiral staircase. Oh, period. Okay, so there's your sentence. The shape of DNA is a double helix, which some people say looks like a spiral staircase. Once again, I forgot to do the underlining of double helix. I'm going to grab my line. You're going to take your pencil and underline double, and you're going to underline helix. Okay? And lucky for us this time, I put in a picture. Okay? But I am going to label it. So with my pencil, I'm going to come over here, and I need you to do this too. We're going to write down double helix. And I'm even going to get real fancy with it, and so are you. We're going to put a little line from our word pointing to this. That's our double helix. Okay, hit pause if you need to. The next vocabulary word we are going to talk about is the word genes. So grab your pencils. In that definition column, in the row for genes, we are going to type the definition. A gene is a section of DNA that passes traits. Oh, goodness. Traits onto offspring. Now my question is, what is offspring? Well, if you don't remember what an offspring is, you are an offspring. An offspring is a child. Make sure you have that written down. So genes is a section of DNA that passes traits to an offspring. So let's go on to the sentence. Let's see. Another one of my family members. Oh, Ricky. Everyone knows someone named Ricky. Received the gene for a cleft chin. Oh, period. Going to make sure it's spelled correctly. I got a capital R for Ricky and I got a period in there. And we're, of course, yes, as you know, our picture has to match our sentence. You may be saying to yourself, Mrs. Chaparro, this picture is not a person with a cleft chin. You're right. That's because I want to do a few things with this. So, grab your pencil. I want to talk about section of DNA. When I talk about sections of DNA, that's where the loops meet. A section is from this point to this point, and as you go down the whole length of DNA, where it kind of crosses over, that's a gene. So we must label that as well. So draw the little line indicating the section. Come in here with your pencil, write gene. And we're even going to grab a line, and you're going to take your pencil and draw a line, maybe, to what we identified as a gene. Now, of course, this would be incorrect if we left this like it is. Lucky for you, we have some space right here. We are going to draw, very carefully, Ricky with a cleft chin. Here we go. I'm lucky enough to have this circle tool, so of course that's going to be Ricky's head. Okay? All good people have eyes. Go and give him a couple eyes. Oh, well, they're not quite the same shape. Ricky doesn't care. Let's see here. Let's give him a nose. Like that. Oh, there. Oh, gosh, his nose is amazing. And then a mouth. Let's see. We'll give him a mouth. Now let's work on his chin. Some of you may recall that a cleft chin means that you have this little, dent right here. Some people call this a butt chin. As you know, I don't like to use words like that, so we'll just call it a cleft chin, which is the scientific word for that. Give Ricky some hair so he's not looking too crazy. Okay, cleft chin. And, oh, there, poor Ricky. There he is. Okay, so he has a cleft chin. And we are even going to label that. So I'm going to grab a text box. I'm going to click in here, write the word cleft chin. You can see that we now have a picture, represents our sentence, and it says cleft chin. I need to go back to my sentence, and I need to underline the word gene. That is our vocabulary word to make sure I get full points for this. Make sure you've done that. Now, just to be completely fair to everyone, here's the picture I drew with the computer. I want to go and add a picture, or just to show you. You don't have to add this picture. Obviously, I'm not going to have you draw this guy. That's that one guy. I forget what his name is. Oh dear, he's rather large. But I just wanted to show you, if you're confused by my picture, this is a great example of someone you all know. I think now that I think about it, his name's Peter Griffin. He is a cartoon, and he has a very apparent cleft chin. So, if you're confused by my drawing, This is the type of chin I'm going for, okay? So hit pause, make your little picture of Ricky. Remember that I only put Peter Griffin in here to show you what I'm going for with the picture. Do your best work. Hit pause if you need to. I'm moving on to the next word. So, our next word on the next page is a funny word. It is called alleles. And I want to do some note taking with this word real quick. Grab your pencil, underline the S on here, okay? And I want you to make a note right here. So, alleles has an S, and you guys know that a word with an S means more than one. Alleles usually come in pairs. There's always two of these. So let's write more than one. Now on to the definition. Take your pencil. Here's the scientific definition of an allele. It is a different forms of a single gene. Whoops. Okay, different forms of a single gene. That might seem crazy, but I will continue to explain. I need you to write this too. A human, that is you, often, that means most of the time, has two alleles for the same trait. So let's talk about what that means real quick, and I'm going to relate it to this picture right here. When you are being created, you get a trait for eye color from your mom, you get a trait for eye color from your dad. Okay? Let's pretend mom has blue eyes, dad has brown eyes. Okay? You will likely end up with brown eyes because brown is dominant. Okay? The only way you would end up with blue is if in dad's DNA somewhere but in the past he has an ancestor who has blue eyes, and you could possibly get blue eyes, but it's about a 75% chance you'll end up with brown. So let's write our sentence, okay? Another family member. Oh, let's go with Carlos. Let's see. Carlos has brown eyes. Whoops. E-Y-E-S. Because he has the alleles for, I'm struggling, brown eyes in his DNA. Period. And I'm not going to forget this time. I'm going to hit my line. I'm going to hit my line tool, and you're going to take your pencil and go and underline alleles. If you're better than me, you'll make your line longer. Okay. Hit pause if you need to. I'm going to go label the picture. Your picture is in black and white. Mine is colored. So we need to do some labeling so you can see this. Text box under the blue eye. We're going to write blue eye. Blue eyes. And guess what we're going to put under the brown one? That's right. Brown eyes. Okay. Hit pause if you need to. Get this complete. Make sure you have your word underlined. Make sure you have capital letters at the beginning of the sentence. Okay, guys, we're on to dominant traits. So, with your pencil, go into the definition column for dominant trait. And a dominant trait is a trait that covers up recessive, oh my goodness, alleles. Now, you're not familiar with the word recessive. Okay? Remember, dominant means powerful. It covers up things. If something is recessive, it's weaker. So, we'll talk more about that. Take your pencil also and go under the word dominant in the vocabulary column. I want you to type or write powerful. Alright, let's make a sentence. And of course, as you can see from our picture, it's going to be about brown or black hair. Okay, let's write it out. Let's go with Bob. I have someone in my family named Bob. A lot of people do. Bob has brown hair because he received the dominant trait for brown hair from his father. Okay. Bob has brown hair because he inherited the dominant trait for brown hair from his father. Boom. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting to underline. Take your pencil, go back and underline. Bam. Okay. We have a picture all ready for us. I'm fine with that picture. There is no labeling. It's pretty straightforward. Bob has brown hair because he inherited the dominant trait for brown hair from his father. Okay? So maybe his mother was a blonde and his father had brown hair. Brown hair will always cover up or take over or be more powerful than blonde hair. Okay? Moving on. Next is recessive trait. Grab your pencil. Oh, no, that's definitely not your pencil. Grab your pencil, and we're going to go under the word recessive, and we're going to write the opposite of powerful. What is the opposite of powerful? Well, if something is powerful, it's strong. The opposite of powerful would be weaker. Recessive traits are weaker than dominant traits. That's how you can think of them. Let's write the scientific definition. Less powerful. Oh, definitely doesn't have a D in it. Trait that only appears if two recessive traits, two recessive alleles for the same trait are inherited. Okay, less powerful trait that only appears if two recessive alleles for the same trait are inherited. Okay, less powerful and weaker kind of goes together. And these words, dominant trait, which we just talked about up here, and recessive trait, those are pretty hard things to understand right now. As we move through this, next week we'll do a little work with our favorite cartoon character, SpongeBob, in which we create some different traits for him. All right. Go to your sentence column. Let's do another family member. Ooh, my niece. Her name is Semi. Semi inherited the recessive trait for attached ear lobes, period. Find your pencil again. You should have never put it down. Underline recessive and trait, because that's our vocab word, and that's what our directions tell us to do. And we already have a picture. Attached earlobes are ones that go directly into your head. They're not free. They can't really be flipped back and forth because they're attached. So, that is a recessive gene. It does not appear often. I actually have a daughter. I have 3 children, and one of my kids has this. So, it is recessive. It usually does not appear, but it can appear in offspring or children. All right, last but not least is heredity. Heredity, what does that mean? Well, you've heard the word inherited. That means you got something from your parents. Heredity. Let's write the scientific definition. Grab your pencil. Here we go. It is traits that are passed from parents to offspring. And offspring is a fancy science word for child. Make sure you have that in there. Remember, you are all offspring. It's a fancy word for child. All right. Here we go. Sentence time. Here we go. Maybe. Due to heredity. Make sure you spell it right. I'm going to use me this time. Mrs. Oh, wrong word. Due to heredity, it is very likely that Mrs. Chaparro's children will have brown eyes. And guess what, friends? They all have brown eyes. Both my husband and I have brown eyes. It is a very slim chance that they would have any other color but brown. We both have brown. Now, are there blue eyes in my family? I think green for sure. But are there blue eyes in my husband's family? Yeah. His grandmother had blue eyes. So, due to heredity, it is very likely that Mrs. Chaparro's children will have brown eyes. We must now make a picture to match. I'm going to draw me. I'm going to draw Mr. Chaparro. And let's see here. Here's some of our kids. And I'm going to add our bodies. Just a second. Don't start hating on me yet. So yes, I'm drawing stick figures. Gotta give myself a body. Whoop, body. Legs. Legs. Arms. Arms. There we go. Mr. Chaparro. Look at him. And then the kids. Mr. Chaparro's arms are off a little bit. He'll be alright. Dumpster diving accident. Oh. Let's see here. Oh dear. Oh, little kids. Right now they're eyeless. I gotta put their eyes in next, so get ready for that. There they are. Look at their legs. Here they are. So you should have 5 people when we're done. 5 stick people. And we need brown eyes now. How am I going to do that? Well, let's see here. I'm going to get a thick pencil. And I'm just going to give them all, oh dear, big brown eyes. Oh God. Brown eyes, brown eyes. Oh my God, it almost look like aliens. but I'm definitely not an alien. And we all have brown eyes. I'm not going to... A little hard for me to finish the face. Just do the eyes. If you feel like putting in the nose and mouth, go for it on each of the 5 people. Let's grab our pencil, though. And we're going to write a little phrase in here. Everyone has brown eyes. Okay? If you're feeling really fancy, you can go through here and label this. Oh, you know what? Let's feel real fancy. Go ahead and get your pencil back out. I'm going to put Mrs. C above me. Of course, this is Mr. C. He is about 6'3", super annoying. There he is, Mr. C. I'm going to take my everyone has brown eyes and move it over. Look at that. And these are our kids. Their names don't matter. So, there you go. We all have brown eyes because of heredity. So, science students, make sure you have your paper perfect. I am looking for capital letters. I'm looking for your vocab words to be underlined. I'm looking for the best drawings possible. I understand you're doing this based off what I've done, but I expect effort. So, anyway, hit pause, go back if you have to, and I will talk to you guys soon. See you, bye.